outside of a restrictor plate track, as much fun as that was at Daytona. I think we're all excited to move on to a more technical track like Atlanta, where the drivers are really going to have a say in how quickly they can get these cars around the track. But yeah, Pete, excited for this week. You know, I think we're going to have at least 45 drivers. We're going to have a couple heat races after this qualifying that's getting ready to launch in 3 minutes. So just excited to ride along up here in the booth with you and see how this event goes.
Well, right now, I mean, there's a lot of well-known and some not so well-known names at the top of the scoring pylon. The 70th Smith, he was pretty good at the plate track last week. Latham was there, so was Matt Heel at the very end. He stayed in the back just about all race long until it was time to go. Ellison, Bailey, he's always up for the challenge no matter what kind of a car he's in. Old Sperling, Quimby, Boone, Holt, and Brad Herman right now are rounding out the top 10. But I got to agree with you, and I think it might have been you or a few other people said, all right, Daytona's in the books. Now it's time to get the real racing going. But not only that, get the real bulk of the series going. If you would, go ahead and take a minute and now explain to everybody how the qualifying is going to work. How the duels are going to work after qualifying, who's in, who's out, and how that's all breaks down.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're going to get their initial qualifying session going here in about 2 more minutes, Pete. It's at 8:25 Eastern. It's going to be 5 minutes, 2 laps. Fastest time is obviously taken. The top 25 drivers from this initial qualifying will be locked into the main race. And then anyone who's 26 or below will have there will be 2 different 25 lap heat races in which the top 9 from each of those heat races will also transfer into the main show. So we're going to have a couple short races here before our feature race. Those should be pretty exciting. As of right now, it looks like there's about 45 drivers, so only a couple guys will miss the main show, but you'll still want to take advantage of finishing the best you can in the heat races because that's going to dictate where you start in the main.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Some of the guys at the back right now, 40th through that 45th person you just mentioned, we're talking about Jeff No in the number 60, Enrique Quinones in 41st, Jim Coey in 42nd, James Kerr in 43rd, Terry Radford in 44th, and JB Banner has yet to actually take a lap yet. With under 20 seconds, do you think JB Banner might have just spend enough time in practice, or do you think he might be missing out to find out exactly what this session is like? Track temp, air temperature, and all that can hugely affect the way your car handles.
I think it's mostly just people's schedules and when they were able to actually get in and log in, more than anything, Pete. You never know what the guys' work schedules are like. Some of them joined here in the last 10 minutes, but a lot of guys got some good practice in, and hopefully the ones who couldn't in this lobby have been practicing throughout the week. But that being said, Pete, it looks like we're about to hop into qualifying. Keep in mind, top 25 automatically advance to the feature here.
There we go. So as soon as some cars start rolling, we will go ahead and get them over to you. I am starting to see some people, strap into their cars, and as soon as they leave pit lane, we will absolutely bring them to you. In fact, it looks like one of the first ones to go out is going to be Aaron Smith. And as soon as he pops up, actually scratch that, it's going to be Justin Malarkey here. And he's going to be the first one to roll out in that number 73. Now, he had an amazing speed weeks, Boehner. This guy, he led a bunch of laps. He was a great pusher throughout. He could be pushed as well. So he was a wheelman at a super speedway. I'll be really, really curious to see what he's capable of doing here in qualifying and also in this heat race that's about to come up right after it.
Yeah, he for sure had a great speed weeks. Unfortunately, didn't get the result he wanted, but he did lead the most laps at Daytona last week. Kept it up front for the most part, was just caught up in one of those late race cautions. So I think he finished back in the mid-20s, but he was fast all week. Same thing with Aaron Smith. I think he finished 5th, and he's out on track right now at Daytona. And, Daytona was a lot about survival. This is going to be a lot about speed and smarts here at Atlanta. So we'll see once we get someone who puts a lap up. It looks like Aaron Smith to the top of the board with the 57 right now. Bailey with the 66. these second laps should be faster though, Pete. So this first lap, we'll wait and see what everyone turns in for their second lap.
Yeah, I think Aaron Smith might have heard you. He kind of looked like he might have got a little greedy all the way up on that high wall. Tagged it, decided that was enough for him. And that looks like it gave Drew Ballesteros the lead from there. Let's try to check in with Tristan Bailey here in that TJ's team number 88 Camaro as he comes across the line to take his Q lap. Oh, nope. Something happened with him, and he locked it up real quick. I'm going to guess he did not mean to come across. He had a problem.
Yeah, well, he's, still sitting P3 based on his first lap. Ballesteros, he wasn't able to make it last week. He had some previous obligations that he had to do last Monday night, so he had to miss out on Daytona. But he's our pole sitter right now with that 48, Pete, and that's almost a tenth faster than what anyone else has done so far. As Honeycutt, our winner last week, has dropped into P3 now. Well, now down to P4. As Ellison takes the pole.
All right, let's see if we can catch up. I believe Jaden Gimbel just left, so let's see if we can find him right quick.
Yeah, these times are going to be coming in hot and heavy, Pete.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Only a 5 minutes left.
Yep. He's out there in that number 81 Securian Camaro. Looks like he's kind of rocking that second to third groove up. He's got hold on to it.
Sideways.
Yeah, little sideways coming off 3. I think he might have gotten whoa!
No.
That
thing
looking like a Baja car.
He's about flipping. I mean, that's the thing about Atlanta, man. You're trying to carry as much speed as you can, but it is extremely loose, especially up top trying to exit. Right now, he's still in the top 25 based on his first lap, and that's going to be the only lap he gets with the 7:15. He's right on the cusp, Pete. I think he's around 22nd or 21st right now. As Ellison's lap, I think, is going to stand here, Pete. I'm not sure who hasn't taken a lap yet, but
yep,
most everyone has gone out. It looks like Dohar, Ruiz, Radford, and Noe are the last ones to go out here.
Yep, and you got it. Cole 315 out there in chat says, couldn't make the race tonight. Have a good broadcast, guys. Have fun. Cole, buddy, if you couldn't make the race, hey, you're definitely welcome to hang out right where you're at and keep us company. At least you'll know where everybody else will be. So, guys and gals, now what's going to happen is everybody that qualified even, they're going to be in the first duel. Odd rather, will be in the first duel. Everybody that qualified even will be in the second duel. These are going to be twin 25, so 25 laps of hard-nosed racing to work their way into the race. So make sure you keep it right here. Don't go anywhere.
Oh, sorry, Pete. And that's only for the drivers who are outside the top 25.
Right.
If you're in the top 25, then this is it. You're safe. So
yep.
Still got 20 seconds left though, and a couple times probably still yet to come in here, Pete.
Okay.
Let's see. Well, it looks like Radford, Ruiz, and Noe just didn't take a lap, so that's interesting. Wonder if they're having some technical problems.
That's very possible. Kind of curious why.
Oh my! I just saw that Noe was almost to Jeff was almost to the line right when it cut off. So he was a fraction of a second from getting a lap in, but didn't quite get it in. So you can see the top 25, Pete. It looks like Elliston, Ballesteros, Bobby Anderson, Aaron Smith, John Honeycutt, Braden Holt, Tristan Bailey, Sam Wade, Latham, Zader, Herman, Quimby, Grant Davis, Heel, Blevins, Malarkey, Gasper, Mon, Taub, Dohar, Pressey, York, Gimbel, Fline, and Meredith are all locked into the show. And there's actually, since we only have 20 drivers, Pete, there's only going to be one heat race for the final, basically 18 spots. So there'll be 20 drivers fighting for 18 spots.
Gotcha.
Let me go talk to Marty so he can let those guys know really quick. Be right back.
You got it. But yeah, Bowling out there in chat saying blew his qualifying bad. So Bowling, man, we'll just watch to see how you do. But it looks like, as you can see there on the scoring pylon, Josh Franks, he's going to lead the field of green with Byron Jones to his outside. It looks like it's going to be Brad Rivers, Josh Arnold, Stan Carnathan, Matt Boone, Mr. Kobe, Jacob Kerr, Osborne, Quinones, Lehman, Jua, Lednam, Banner, Sperling, Hauk, Coe, Ruiz, No, and Radford will be how they line up from 1st through 20th. There they are out on track. Let's go ahead and switch on over. One and only driver of the number 7, Josh Franks, also known as Expert Racing. Man, he definitely got the right spot in order to get there. Hometown Cleveland, Georgia. Actually been there. Delivered a PC to him just before he took over the broadcasting duties for NNR. Several months back. But good job by him. He's gonna lead this field, and it's gonna be one hell of a race. Again, Byron Jones to his outside in that number 8 Stay Machine. Brad Rivers, Josh Arnold. That's gonna be your top 4. We're gonna go ahead and bring this back, get it back. We're gonna switch on over. Pace car is gonna go ahead and make that left turn in Albuquerque, and we are gonna get ready to get going. Hard on the throttle. Doesn't look like anybody spun the tires. Green flags out. Now, on these first laps, these tires are going to be cold. They want to make sure that when they turn in, they do it gently. No need to make any sudden movements. Let the car coast a little bit, get back on the throttle as soon as you feel the car under you, and keep it racing. Right now, it's 69 of Brad Rivers all over the back end of the 7 of Josh Franks. Byron Jones, Stan Carnathan, and Josh Arnold, they started top 5. They are staying top 5. Corey Colby so far up 1 position, moving Matt Boone back 1. James Kerr, John Osborne, and Enrique Canones keeping their spot. So only 1 position change in the top 10 so far, Boehner.
Yeah, Pete, good clean start. So the way this worked out, like I said, only 1 heat race, so the top 18 from here. Unfortunately, looks like we had some technical difficulties for Terry Radford, so he wasn't able to make it in the heat. So that's a bummer. But so just one guy's probably going to end up missing out here. So, if I'm in the top 10, Pete, just want to have a good, safe race here, as well as just kind of learn for the main show. Obviously, none of these guys will be starting in the top 25, but you want to start as close to the front as you can while kind of learning some race conditions here, some real race conditions.
Now, Boehner, I got to ask you, all right? Right now, everybody's up on that high line, mostly everybody, going all the way down the backstretch. Franks is known to be pretty aggressive when he's trying to get position, when he knows or feels that his car is faster than others. Is he right where he is to go as hard as he can for these 25 laps, or do you think 25 laps is enough time for him to really feel the wear of the tire and fall back positions, or do you think, hey man, it's just right for the conditions, and he can go as hard as he wants?
Definitely don't want to go as hard as you can, Pete. 25 laps is certainly enough to feel the tires fall off. But he's in clean air right now. He just wants to keep running good, smooth laps. Even if he dropped back a few positions, he'd still do himself a favor by, starting in the top 30 for the main. So he's out there out front. I guarantee he's having a blast right now, Pete, just kind of leading these guys.
Yeah, I tell you what, Nick Vroman, in any of his past interviews, whether finishing first, second, third, one thing that he always attributed a good finish to was clean air. And right now, that 7 of Josh Franks, he's got an abundance of that. And just as I say that, looks like Brad Rivers going to try to challenge underneath. He's got the line. He's got the right rear diving in. Looks like the 8 of Byron. He's just trying to figure out which line to go with.
Yeah, it's hard to complete a pass at the bottom, Pete, here at Atlanta. As you can see, Franks really carried the momentum through the center 1 and 2. Got a good run off down the backstretch there. It's really tough to complete a pass on the bottom, especially the first 10 laps on a tire run, unless you're going to really abuse him. But I like what Stan Carnathan's doing. He's really riding the top here, and it looks like he might have a little run here for third, trying to get to the outside of Byron.
Yep, Stan got way close to that wall, but he's actually, he is up on that high side, really rim riding around this 1.5 mile track. And yeah, absolutely doing a great job. As long as he
Now
can keep
fight
it
for
out
the
of the
lead.
wall and not get tight.
Yep, fight for the lead too, Pete. It looks like Rivers is back to the bottom of Frank's. And look at Stan. Byron tried to get to the inside of Rivers there, and that kind of opened the door for Stan, who just ran the top of 1 and 2 to get to his high side. So I think Stan, he might be able to get by Rivers also, if he can't complete the pass on Franks, and it doesn't look like he's going to.
Yeah, look at that 82 now solidly taking over P3 in that BeWater Camaro, looking pretty good. And look at this, we've got a brand battle, if you will, right side by side. The 82 BeWater machine and the number 8 Stay grape flavored Camaro of Byron Jones, my colleague on Wednesday nights when it comes to the Filter Time eSpark Xfinity Series, hydrated by our buddies at BeWater.
That's right. Ooh, and Boone just got into the wall a little bit. He was running there behind Stan. I don't think he did too much damage, as Arnold's going to challenge him, as we're 2x2 for the first 6 positions here, Pete.
Yep, 38 up high in that monster machine. It's a pretty nice, wicked paint scheme. And how about this 22? It almost looks like what's the name of that chicken franchise? What is that? Checkers? Almost kind of looks like a Checkers franchise. And then you got the 21 of Corey Kobe right behind these guys. He's just sniffing the draft, staying right where he is. He knows he's going to be good to go. He is locked in if he can stay there. Right now, as you said, the only one car that is out due to technical issue is going to be that 34 Radford. Right now, Jim Coey, he's tailing Charlie, but he knows he's in. All he's got to do is keep it clean, keep the incident points down, which are going to be huge at the end of the season.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's going to be in. I think you're still going to have to beat at least one guy to make it into the main show, because we got 19 cars out here. So Coey's going to be looking to try and catch at least one guy. He might be saving his stuff here, though, Pete, and waiting for these last 10 laps, as we're 11 on lap 11 right now, so still got 14 to go, Pete.
Yeah, looking at the 66 Rico machine of Jim Coey, he's got Jeff No in front of him in that number 6 Lexington style barbecue Ford Mustang, and to his outside it's going to be David Houck in that Menards number 12.
Yep, and still side by side up front here as well, Pete. It looks like Rivers might finally clear Franks. Nope, Franks is still going to roll that middle line, get back to his quarter panel. He's going to have the momentum off of 2, so we're still side by side for the lead. Jones finally got back by Carnathan, as now Carnathan looks to the inside of Jones.
Yeah, Stan Carnathan down low, so basically swap sides. The 82 was up high last time we talked, and here comes the 38 of Matt Boone on the attack, taking the 82 up high, give that 8 car a little bit of a shot to the back bumper, and it looks like they're both going to be able to get on by the 82, and it looks like Brad Rivers has finally been able to put that 69 Batman Mustang in the front, putting Josh Franks back to P2. Byron Jones in that number 8 P3, as we just saw, Matt Boone and Stan Carnathan, but now here comes Josh Arnold in that 22. He's going to try to take P5 on the high side.
Yeah, I think we're going to start to see some of the guys who are just riding there a little bit, Pete, maybe start to charge a little bit more forward. Looked like the laps they were hitting were pretty quick at the beginning as far as this front group of cars, but now I think Arnold, possibly Boone, maybe Watt, as Watt gets by Carnathan now for the 6th position. Those guys might come forward and maybe even challenge Rivers for the win.
Yeah, Alpha York out there in chat saying Boone is coming quick. Yeah, he's not kidding. Boone might have been saving a little bit of stuff because he's got the high line. He's going to have the momentum, but I don't know if he's going to have enough run to challenge the 8. He might have that right rear. Nope, 8's going to be able to slide back up. Decides otherwise, it keeps it low. That's going to take a whole lot of tire out of that 8 car.
Yeah, and then Boone, he's going to have the momentum off 2.
Yep.
Wow, good job. And you can see also Arnold, Byron keeping it low there. You can just see the difference in speed, especially once the tires start to wear as you're kind of running the bottom. As now Watt is, Corey Kobe, as you guys would see him on the pylon, he's now moving up on Byron Jones as well.
Yeah, Watt actually sent out a tweet. He was able to get a picture of his kids behind the old Ricky Rudd Tide Ride. And, man, he said that is his racing life. And knowing Watt, I know he's got a whole bunch of Ricky Rudd die cast that he really cherishes. Rudd was his driver. This is why he's in that number 21 Motorcraft Ford in honor of old Ricky Rudd, as he looks low, right underneath Byron Jones.
Yep, he's looking low, but as you can see, same issue other guys have had. He's not going to be able to complete the pass down there as Byron Jones carries the momentum off of turn 4. He's probably going to clear him going into 1, but I think he'll keep it up on that top side.
Yep, I'm definitely seeing a whole theme here, Banner. It really seems like if you can carry the high side and not only keep the speed, but you can keep your tires for that long run. 42 and 82 almost made a little bit of contact. Here comes that. Actually, it's going to be the 41 rather. We talked about that earlier of Drew Jua. Now to the inside of the 21.
Yep, he's to the inside. I think Matt Boone also got into the wall a little bit as Josh Arnold got by him off to that last lap. So move Arnold up to P3, chasing down Franks and Rivers here with about, there'll be 6 to go, I believe, when they hit the line next time as they're on the backstretch now.
They are on 8 right now, so they'll be working 7 to go. Let's kind of go back and take a look at our guys in the back. It looks like the 66 INKW has actually been able to move past John Osborne and David Houck. It looks like they might have run into problems.
Yeah, and I think there's some damage, so I think they may have gotten in the wall or damaged their cars a little bit here, Pete. So it'll be interesting to see, who damaged it worse. There's definitely some damage on the right side of the 12 car. I haven't gotten a good look at the 83 yet, but oh yeah, he's been in the wall also. So these guys are definitely off the pace of the leaders, but they are. Oh, and then the 83's in the wall again. Here comes the 12. Oh, save it. Save it, Osborne. He's got it saved, but now Houck has moved into the final transfer spot. But once again, both these guys had damage, so maybe Osborne can get back in there, or maybe there'll be an issue with someone battling for position here as we're getting close to 5 to go, Pete.
Yep, you got that. As they came across the line. Well, yeah, it'll be 5 to go when they come across the line next time. But, yeah, that's going to be an interesting transfer spot between those damaged machines. We saw a whole lot of damaged machines at Daytona, and they really had to limp along in order to, save whatever position they could. But I tell you what, up front here, Brad Rivers, He's set sail a little bit. Has almost a second or just under a second on the 22 of Josh Arnold. Josh Franks started on the pole.
Rivers.
69, let a little loose.
Ooh.
Good
Big
save.
off you.
Wow.
Could you imagine going from leading this thing to wrecking? That would not be good, and not finding yourself in the feature. So I think he'll take a deep breath, Pete, and maybe just make sure he, takes it a little easy here.
I almost wonder if Josh Arnold or J-Pie actually checked up when he saw the 69 almost lose it, because he really didn't gain a whole lot of time. He was about 7/10 back, now 8/10 back. So I think Josh Arnold checked up, and when Josh Franks saw that, he checked up. So 69 really didn't lose anything except for maybe a little bit of grip, a little bit of nerve. I think he'll probably baby it as they come to 3 to go.
Yeah, and at the back also, Pete, we don't have to go to it right away, but we'll want to check it. That 12 and 83 are getting closer and closer. The 83 is reeling them back in, so we have no way of knowing who's damaged more, but he's going to try to catch him here at the end and get himself into the main.
Yep, I'm back there right now. I do see that the 83 is absolutely close enough to have a draft from the 21. And as you said, it's really going to determine or depend on who's got the most damage. 83 is staying high, wide, and handsome all over. He's got the draft from that 12 Mustang coming down the backstretch. 12 is not, swerving. He's not doing anything to try to break that draft. This is for the one and final spot. 12, I don't know if the 83 is going to have enough time. As these guys come by, they're collecting 2 to go. So as leaders come on by, it will be the white flag.
Yep, and the leaders are really spread out here, Pete, in the top 5. You got Rivers, you got Arnold, and you got Franks. So those guys are pretty spread out. Let's see if Osborne, this is really the biggest position that matters. This is a matter of racing here in the feature or going home, as Osborne, as they're coming down, he's got to run on the inside, Pete, off 4.
Yep, 83 down low, 12 staying up high, giving plenty of room. One guy about by the apron, the other up by the wall, coming through the tri-oval. Last lap, 12 going to try to pinch the 83 down. 83 afraid to wash up just a little bit, keeping it clean all the way through 1 and 2. It's going to be a drag race down the back stretch. The 12 has had the advantage on the high line all the way through. There he shows it again. 83 is going to be able to dive in. Doesn't quite get to the back bumper. The 12 should be able to carry the momentum. Here comes the 83. BeWater, we've seen this fight before.
Oh, a little loose off of 4, but he had the charge. He did everything he could. Obviously, the damage was just too much, really, for both those guys to hang with the rest of the field. But congratulations to Hauk, who made it in, and everyone else. Caution-free heat race, Pete. So that's a good sign, I think, for our feature, which will be coming up here. And I guess we have. Let's see. So I guess we'll kick off at about 9:20 Eastern, Pete.
That sounds perfectly fine. Gives me a couple minutes to grab some refreshments, and definitely invite all of y'all to do the same exact thing, because man, this is going to be an 80-lap main race. It's going to be full 43 car field. You're not going to want to miss it, ladies and gents. We will be right back. Don't go too far. right, guys, definitely appreciate you hanging out, sticking it out with us. A little bit of an intermission never hurts. Grab a quick little snack, maybe use the restroom, grab a drink, whatever you got to do. Make sure you go on over to BeWater BU though and grab yourself a cold case of 24 bottles. Most refreshing artisan water in the U.S. Clearly printed on the label. And also, not only that, Boehner, but this new Stay product, this hemp-infused nutrient water that we're going to see a few cars for on track tonight. We got a pretty good glimpse of the number 8 for Byron Jones, but in front of Byron Jones was Brad Rivers. Now, these Stay beverages, can you tell us a little bit more about them?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a brand new product released by Green Concept. So they're doing a little bit of a trial run. You can actually probably get them discounted still on BeWaterBU.com. But yeah, they're a hemp-infused sports hydration water. Really cutting-edge technology going into these. They got 6 different flavors. I haven't had a chance to try them yet. I ordered some of each flavor last week as soon as they launched it on their website. So I'm excited to taste it and check it out. But just some of the research, I mean, if no one's ever done it with some of the benefits of hemp, no THC, so this isn't something that's going to get you high. But it does have a hemp infused sports hydration water. Some of the benefits are really, really killer. A lot of people already know this already when it comes to hemp, but on your own time, feel free to do some research and feel free to check them out and see if you can't order some of their products straight from the website. I don't believe it's out in stores yet, but it will be, and we'll announce that once we can let you know where you guys can purchase them in the near future.
And absolutely, and also if you go to Green Concepts on Twitter and give them a follow, they sent out a tweet. I believe it was right after. Actually, no, it was the morning of our Daytona race, or maybe the very next morning, Boehner, where you had the opportunity to go on and get it for $1 a bottle. I don't know if that's still going on or not, but go on over and take a look at the entire line. We've been riding around for the last little bit. With the 8 car of Byron Jones. We talk about him during that heat race running the grape-flavored Stay car. So we definitely wish him... Plum. I'm sorry.
Plum charcoal, yeah.
Grapes are just dried up. No, yeah, they're dry. No, never. I'm just going to shut up. Anyway, we talked about Brad Rivers, and he mentioned out there in chat that it felt great to get that heat win. Well, we went ahead and pulled old Brad Rivers into the booth. Brad, we saw you really following and tailing that number 7 of Josh Franks for quite a bit. He looked like he had a speedy little car. In that quick little test session, which I guess you could say it was, did you find that it's going to be more beneficial to kind of lay back like the 38 of Matt Boone was doing, or maybe the 22 of Josh Arnold? Or do you want to be up front and try to keep clean air on that car for as long as you can?
Yeah, Pete, that up front felt great. I know that. I'm not sure though, because being 25 laps, I know it was to get to the front quick and get that win. It made me feel good, but I think more or less in the 80 lap race, you're gonna have to like take your time, and just be patient a little bit and just see what works for you. And I know it's going to be a bottom lane race after the tires wear out. That's what it was doing on like lap 20. I almost lost it on lap 22 out of 2. Yeah, I got a little scary right there. But yeah, other than that, I'm excited, and hopefully I can come out with a dub in the race too.
Well, man, you definitely seem like you had a pretty fast piece. Is this a track that you've been preparing for since the schedule was released several weeks ago, or are you just good at this track? Is this a Brad Rivers style track?
I guess time will tell, because when I ran in practice, I was running kind of slow laps, and compared to everybody else, I was looking at like 3/10 off and 4/10 off. So I was like, man, I'm really slow. So I don't know, hopefully get some confidence from this heat win, and hopefully it carries on to the race, and we'll see what we can do.
Well, I absolutely wish you a whole lot of luck. I've been a fan of yours. Going back to console, where you beat Stout Whiskey to the championship in the American Ethanol Series. That one race at Charlotte. Man, I've always known you've been able to race ever since then. Glad you're here, Brad. Boehner, you got anything for our heat winner?
No, man, congrats on winning that heat. It was caution free, so that's encouraging. I think you'll be fine. Obviously, starting 26, you'll have to kind of make the right moves, make no mistakes to try and work your way to the top 10 and then go from there. But looking forward to see how you do in the future, man.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It's going to be tough for sure, especially with cold tires and early on, to see who gets loose and avoiding wrecks. Hopefully we don't have any, but...
Yeah, buddy, keep it clean and good luck out there.
Thanks, guys.
You got it. Boehner, how about we try last week's winner, John Honeycutt, see what he thinks his chances are for maybe going back-to-back.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's go ahead and grab old Honeycutt. Find him. There he is. Honeycutt, it is repeat and the one and only Boehner in the booth, buddy. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Man, I saw you hanging out with old Stout Whiskey, Jose Ruiz, and Tyler Dohar. Dohar was a great advantage to you last week at Daytona. Great draft partner. He's great at all those super speedways. But here we are now, mile and a half, very, very tough, tight later, but very loose in the middle, kind of a track here, Atlanta Motor Speedway. What do you think your chances are? Any special strategy that we should be paying attention to in that number 50 high-tech securities Camaro?
I mean, I'll probably just. Actually, it's going to be a lot of learning for me, really. I'm not really familiar with the Xfinity cars quite yet. So running here in Atlanta is going to be my second race. It already feels different from the first time I've been here. I think it was like a couple weeks ago. So right now it's just really to just save the tires and just kind of do what the leaders do. I'm just going to stick around with the leaders and just learn, basically, and hopefully I could stay in the top 5 or even in the top 10. So, and that's pretty much it. That's my strategy.
Well, man, so last week at Daytona, you're having to breathe the throttle just a little bit, and then you're right back on it. In your limited time here in the Xfinity cars, whether it was in practice or in your qualifying runs, did you find what you think your niche might be, where you're going to feel most comfortable for 80 laps to come?
Yeah, I don't want to say anything yet. I don't want to give out my cards, but I think I figured something out. I was only here for like 15-20 minutes of practice and kind of came in late and already figured out something. So I'm going to kind of use that and hopefully it works out to not only save my tires, but to kind of set pace and maybe hopefully stay with the leaders. And that's pretty much my strategy. So hopefully as long as I can hit my pit stops correctly and I can hit pit road and exit and just be quick on those things, I think I'll be all right.
So last question for me, and then we'll bring Boehner in. Frozen Toes, Elizabeth All, she guided you through an amazing field to get up to where you had to be in position at the very last lap. I mean, you came side by side with Corey Blevins and one other. I forget who was below you, but did she give you any words of wisdom, or did she pass along the message to Dohar how to tackle this place, or is it just, man, winging a prayer on what you know to your own?
Well, she kind of stuck with Dohard or she told me to stick with Dohard and we were all on the same radio channel. We just couldn't hear Dohard's spotter, so we were in constant communication between me, Dohar, and Eliza. So we were able to work things out throughout the race. But when we got split up towards the end there, where I was towards the front, I just asked her to just find me an open spot on the outside lane and just get me there. And that's exactly what she did. She got me she got me into a hole where I needed to be in the middle, and it got me up there to the front. And she told me what line was moving, and told me to stay in front of which driver was coming, and that's how we won. So it was pretty cool to not only for my first win and the opener for BeWater's series, but you know, her doing it for the first time as a spotter and getting her a win. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Well, she's definitely got her share of accolades, both over on console and here on iRacing. Definitely one of the best, whether it was her first as a spotter or to where she may never be able to do it again. You'll finish with a great batting average if it never happens again. Congratulations on the W last week. Definitely looking forward to seeing what you're capable of doing tonight. We'll talk to you later, sir.
All right, thank you so much. Have a good night.
All right, Boehner. So, in the qualifying session was over. Who was it? Jim Coey. Was Coey the last one to transfer through? No, it wasn't.
It was actually David Houck. But I was kind of hoping, Pete, I could get a quick word in with Gabriel Ellison, who's our pole sitter for the feature.
Okay.
If you can see him and pull him in, give him a couple quick questions.
Absolutely.
See what he's thinking.
Let's see right quick. There he is. Stand by. Gabe Ellison, it's Repeat and Boehner in the booth. How's our pole sitter?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty happy with that. Can't complain.
I tell you, you're going to be. We saw how advantageous clean air was in the beginning of that heat, and throughout. Josh Franks only fell 1 or 2 spots as the 25 laps ran on. I definitely got to pass my congrats to you, but Boehner wants to talk to you.
Yeah,
What's up, Gabe? How you doing, man?
Yeah, not bad. How you doing?
Doing well. You got the clean air. You barely squeezed by with the pole there. I think it was like 2 thousandths over Ballesteros. So you guys are on the front row. Tell me what you think about this race. Are you going to try to kind of keep that clean air while trying to manage the tires? You're just going to let it rip? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, staying up front is definitely preferable, but at the same time, if you're getting a lot of pressure, kind of got to make a choice because tires here, it's insane. The fall off's crazy, and on the tail ends of these runs, if you kill them early, you're really going to feel it and really lose a lot of time and maybe hit the wall, stuff like that. So have to play that by ear, kind of feel the field out, but hopefully I can get a good initial start and keep that clean air. That's definitely a nice advantage to have.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think that sounds like a pretty good plan, and you kind of nailed it on the head. It's once you abuse the tires at Atlanta, there's really no coming back from it. So looking forward to seeing you out there. Happy to have you racing with us. I know I think Daytona was good and bad. I think you finished somewhere in the middle.
Yeah,
But
25th, I think.
yeah. But good luck tonight. You're certainly in the catbird seat for starting this race, and wish you the best, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you all.
We'll catch you later.
All right.
Good luck, man.
Thanks.
You got it. All right, Boehner, who do you have next on tap?
Well, we can either we can talk to David Houck for sure. I think he was the last one to make it in through our heat, so it might be fun to hear if he's still over there sweating or if he's recovered by now.
Well, right now he's sitting in a chat with Nick Pressey, so I'm sure that that conversation's going pretty well. Nick is going to be, if anybody's going to give him some idea on how to advance through and work his way through this stacked field, he's probably going to be one of the guys to do it. But yeah, we can definitely go ahead and bring him on up. We'll go ahead and get to his channel right now. And there we go, Mr. Houck. It is Repeat and Boehner up in the booth, buddy. You got a copy?
Yes, I do. How you doing, guys?
I'm doing all right, man. I tell you, that was definitely an interesting duel between you guys in the closing laps. Did you think you were gonna have the speed to catch him? Was it all draft? And when he tried to dive low in 3 and 4, and you saw him get a little loose after touching that apron, were you saying thank God or damn it?
I had some damage from him early on in the race, and I could not get the car to turn. And when I saw him, when I got up to his bumper and I passed him, I was like, oh, this is it. And I was driving my tail off. I burned the front right, and I was trying to nurse it home and got lucky there at the end. My spotter just told me to protect the outside, and that's what I did, and it worked.
Yeah, man, that was fun to watch. You know, it sounds like you caught your breath, so that's good. Hopefully, you know, you have a good feature race here. I know starting in the back is certainly not ideal, but you're here, and definitely go out there and get the best finish you can. Pete, did you have any other questions for David here before we let him go?
Not at all, David. I definitely wish you a whole lot of luck. Make that transfer spot absolutely work for you. It's 80 laps. Be patient. Go hard when you can. Maintain your keep your tires under you. Watch for the looseness as it creeps in between 20 and 30 laps, and I think you will do just fine, sir.
Patience, patience. Got it.
And at times, patiently aggressive. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good luck, buddy.
Good luck, man.
Thanks, guys.
You got it. All right. So we talked to last week's winner. We talked to our pollster. We talked to our transfer spot. And we talked to the winner of the heat. So let's kind of take a look through. Right now, it looks like the fastest in this little warm-up session is going to be Timothy Latham, followed by Tristan Bailey, Braden Holt, Raleigh Grant Davis. Oh man, he had a heartbreaking Daytona race, and then Zach Meredith in that number 17.
Another heartbreaker there for Zach. He was, you know, leading on that second to last green white checkered, and was unfortunately got turned trying to get a hit. So a couple of heartbreakers there, but they're looking fast this week, Pete.
Yeah, it's gonna be it'll be really, really interesting. And you know, I go through all 43 of these racers. I'm seeing iRatings at almost 6K, and then as low as like 1,300. Boehner, what you and Mike York and Stan Carnathan have built is really a melting pot of different levels of talent, different levels of skill, different levels of equipment, different tenures on iRacing, and it's absolutely turning out to be a really great series. There's a lot of people out there that don't see the behind the scenes chats and things like that. After Daytona, nobody was after each other. Nobody was cussing mad or anything like that. These guys actually put on one great show and went on about their business to prepare for this race.
Yeah, absolutely, Pete. We had very few issues. I mean, the important thing, iRating is deceiving, right? Because not everyone's on iRacing to run official races, and a lot of guys, particularly in this league, are just good league racers, so iRating can be deceiving. Certainly if you got a guy who's like 3, 4, 5K, I mean, they're going to be good drivers, but I know the guys who are, below that are still great drivers. And, some of the guys, as far as the length or width, the types of talent we have, I mean, it's really a difference in experience. You got guys who have been on here for, 2 months. You got guys who have been on here for 5 years. So the cool thing about a league like this is you get to get in a bunch of different cars, compete against drivers you can trust, have fun racing with. Even running, for 30th or 29th, if that's where you're at right now, there's a lot you can learn just by, being in the league and logging those laps wherever you're at in the field. So I think the feedback was incredibly positive after the first week, and I think it's only going to get better. I mean, everyone knows restrictor plate racing is, the most frustrating. There's really only one guy who's going to be happy after that race, and that's whoever wins, and that was Honeycutt last week. Everyone else had something not go right at some point to kind of put them out of a shot to win that they couldn't necessarily control. So we got through. And last week, Pete, it wasn't lost on anyone. It certainly wasn't lost on me that we went, 62 laps without a caution out of 70.
Right.
To start the race. I've never seen a restrictor plate race let alone with all drivers who are racing as a group together the first time, go go that long into a restrictor plate race without having an issue or a big one. So that was really cool. Of course, it's going to turn into craziness at the finish there. Everyone wanted to win that inaugural race. Honeycutt got it done. Sorry for the long-winded explanation here,
No,
but
you're fine.
we're all just excited.
Absolutely. As and the excitement continues to build. We got just over 2 minutes left here in this final warm up. Everybody getting a feel for their car. I think I've seen more cars out here turn multiple laps to get a feel for what their car is going to be like on the long run. This warm up is actually longer than it was for that heat race. So this if anybody that took the time and made the effort to go on out and see what their car was going to do lap after lap after lap, whether they're in a full pack or not, they should have gotten a pretty good feel on where.
Well, sorry, Pete. And then also, this is the best time to really figure out how your car is going to feel because it's the actual lobby with the actual track conditions, with the actual rubber on it.
Yep.
So certainly, I'm looking forward to some good green flag racing tonight. I think I see lap times for just about everyone in this warm up. So, that should be good. And we're still starting about 10 minutes early here from where we had originally planned. So hopefully some guys with some work or some things like that going on tomorrow, they can enjoy the extra time for whenever this does finish.
There you go. Durmax out there in chat says, "Hey, Boehner and Repeat, long time no see." Durmax, definitely good to see you as well. Stan the iRacer throwing up the brand new BeWater emojis. Thank you very much, Stan. Honeycutt says, "Let's go get that second W." Honeycutt, we're going to definitely be looking out for that number 50. Papa Bear saying hello, everyone. So we're counting down the seconds, Boehner. 30 seconds. Your final thoughts, sir?
I think it's going to be an exciting race, Pete. I think that we're going to see, a lot of guys prepared. The cars are very loose here, so you're not going to want to run each other too tight to begin with. I see everyone getting in a good flow and getting some green flag laps in. I anticipate our first caution probably around lap 20. That's what I typically have seen in Atlanta. And then, they got 3 sets of tires in the pits, so should have, plenty of tire. And, Pete, it's going to be exciting to see who manages their tires well and who's really trying to gas it up and take advantage of them when they're real good at the beginning.
Well, Banner, you wrapped that up just as the track went quiet. Now 80 laps in store. As we saw, Ellison's going to have the pole, Ballesteros to the outside, Anderson P3, Smith P4, Honeycutt in that number 50. We talked to him in that brief period there. Holt, Bailey, Wade, Latham, and Lewis Zader in that number 42 to round out your top 10. These guys are going to start gridding up. There they are. So we're going to kind of switch on over, get ready to get going. Let's get some camera shots to go through the field, starting with our pole sitter. There's Gabe Ellison. He's going to be rocking, looks like just a number 27 unsponsored Camaro. If you're interested in sponsoring this Camaro, reach on out. And then Drew Ballesteros, number 54 Track Racer Chevrolet. Bobby Anderson in this number 18 Crow. That was an awesome movie. Aaron Smith II, bright yellow 7. You're not going to miss him on track. John Honeycutt, brand new livery for him in this high-tech security services Chevrolet as well. Tristan Bailey, TJ's team, number 88. Samuel Wade, I'm going to guess he's a Bengals fan, 14 car tonight. Timothy Latham, that 0 Raise Energy Camaro as well. Lewis Zader in this number 42 Valvoline Chevy. I'm seeing a whole lot of Chevys out here. And then we got Justin Quimby in this number 36 Death Wish Coffee Camaro. Matt Heel, number 51 Rowdy Machine. Then we're going to have Brad Herman, 85 TJ's team, the second entry for Cape Motorsports. We just mentioned him. Matt Heel would mention him. Raleigh Grant Davis, number 25 Boosted. Justin Malarkey talked about him as well in this number 73 unsponsored Mustang. Corey Blevins in that number 48. That's going to round out our top 16. We're going to work our way back to our leader. And, Banner, we're about to hit that loud hammer.
That's right, Pete. Should be, once again, exciting race. It'll be interesting to see what drivers come through the field, Pete, who had to race their way in through the heat. Excited to see which of those drivers do the best, but we're getting ready to go green here, Pete.
Yeah, getting ready to go green. They're coming through the BeWater BU restart zone. Green, green, green.
Green flag. Abe Ellison gets a good jump there. Ballesteros is going to tuck in behind him with Bobby Anderson there on the bottom and Aaron Smith following in P4. Looks like Honeycutt is going to have a little challenge on the outside there. Not going to quite clear. Looks like, is that Ballesteros? No, who is that? I'm still learning the paint schemes, Pete.
Me too, buddy. Me too. But Banner, so far, so good. One full lap. I know you said you think about lap 20 is going to be where we might see that first yellow fly. Everybody being very respectful, practicing their track awareness, and these guys flying around this mile-and-a-half track.
Yep, you can see Ellison immediately. He's going to the top of the racetrack here. Petey's going to run up there, just keep the momentum up. We saw that in the heat race. Looked like that was good as Zader gets into the back of Bailey a little bit, but they all keep it straight. Just Zader lost some time, so he's sitting right now, I think, in P9, and he's going to regroup here. Hopefully that didn't do any damage to either of those cars.
Nope, so far I'm actually on Zader right now. He's still actually up one spot from where he qualified in that Valvoline Camaro. Not doing too bad. Tristan Bailey down 2. John Honeycutt down 2. Timothy Latham up 3. Braden Holt, so far your biggest mover throughout the field, looks to be back in P18, and that was going to be Patrick Gaspar as he continues to try to work his way through this very, very full 43 car field.
Yep, and Ellison's got a little bit of a cushion here at the front. You can see Aaron Smith. He's running the bottom right now. He's under attack from Braden Holt and Timothy Latham, who's tucked in behind him for the 4th position. I think we're going to see Holt use that outside and possibly get around Smith. But I think Smith, is just saving his tires, running the bottom. That's really a good strategy here. If this thing does go green, I expect to see Aaron Smith to move forward at some point as Anderson also gets by Ballesteros on the outside heading into turn 3.
Yep, catching up with Anderson right now. There he is in that number 18. We mentioned him when going through the field. Got the 54 right now of Braden Holt in his tire tracks going into turn number 1. Start of lap number 5 already.
Yep, 5 laps in. These laps are going to tick off pretty quick, Pete. Just a little over 30 seconds a lap here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway as Zader, got really loose off of 2. I thought he was looking to make a move, but I think he just got sideways. So he's going to gather it back up yet again here, Pete, as Ellison, Anderson, Ballesteros, Holt, and now Smith just cleared Latham, who's pushing him down the front stretch.
Yeah, Latham, here we are right now with him again in that
Zero raise energy.
Yeah, sorry. I was sorry. I had something flash up on my screen saying that someone had gone down and smacked the inside wall pretty hard, but it looks like they were able to keep it going. He's a little bit further in the field, probably about 20 to 25th position. No harm, no foul. When he came back up, he had already let the rest of the pack go. I think it might have actually been Justin Malarkey with the issue. But that battle with that zero raise energy machine and the 70 of Aaron Smith right ahead of him, as now Aaron might try to dive underneath the 54. But as we saw in the heat, that high side momentum is what it's all about here at Atlanta.
Yeah, that's right, Pete. And then we also had a change for 3rd. Ballesteros definitely let Braden Holt go once they went into 1 and 2 there. Holt had a good run off of 4, got to his inside, and Ballesteros just let him go. As now Latham does look to the outside of Smith, and he's going to try to take over that 5th spot as they head into 1 and 2.
Yeah, and I think I really do think that raised Camaro is going to have a little bit more help because he's got some drafting partners up high, 70 car down low, nothing at all. He's going to find that gap right behind the 0, file in, and everybody's in one long conga line going down the backstretch.
Yeah, first battle for positions about in 15th. I believe that's going to be, looks like the Sam Wade car, the Bengals car, as he's alongside Quimby, as he's got Grant Davis behind them. I believe that's Nathan Mon right tucked in there. But everyone else, first 13 cars single file here as they kind of get sorted out and start to. We'll see who comes forward. Ooh, somebody just got in the wall back there too. York did a great job of lifting and not getting into the back of him. But yeah, these things are not handling awesome.
Nope.
Pete, and they're not going to get much better as these tires wear.
Jambino Live says, I know my dude Gabe is loved being on the pole at Hotlanta. Yeah, absolutely, Jambino. We actually talked to him, and he was extremely happy about being on the pole, having that clean air, running the race at his pace, not worrying about having a draft from anyone, having to adjust his line or where he was lifting, where he's going to be able to get back on the throttle. He could completely control his own race. So I got to agree with you 100%. Still got that hornet's nest back here with this 25 and company though, Boehner.
Yeah, definitely hornet's nest back there. You know, Latham's now on the outside of Ballesteros. Smith is now kind of moved to the top side. So like I said, I think Smith was kind of taking care of his tires there, as Holt had a little issue off too. I don't think he got in the wall, but these guys closed in on him very quickly down the backstretch. I think we're going to start to see some, and that time Holt did get in the wall, and Aaron Smith is going to lift for him, but Bailey's going to get by Smith. Ballesteros is going to clear Holt, and I think Bailey's going to clear Holt as they go into turn 1.
Yep, through the end of the tri-oval, going into turn number 170 down low, 54 up high. Still, that 70 has no help down there. I'm actually kind of surprised that when after the zero, Ray's Camaro was able to get on by him, and he found that hole there, that he actually went back to the low line. The same place we're seeing the 50 of John Honeycutt and the 85 of Brad Rivers. You know, seeing those guys down there, I'm kind of surprised to see them, knowing that the high side has all the momentum. Or do you think that maybe it's just a slide job hope? Maybe that they'll have a problem like we saw the 54 and they'll be able to monopolize on it?
Yeah, I think the bottom is still better on your tires early, even if it's not as fast. But now you got Zader going 3 wide below Holt. I'm not sure who that is in the middle, but he takes it 3 wide, and he's going to slide on up in front, and he's going to take at least 1 spot away. The crossover might be coming.
Doesn't look like
back here
yep.
for 6 or 7.
Yep, and I apologize. I said that was Brad Rivers. It's actually Brad Herman in that 85. Oh, Honeycutt after I think might have been a little bit of contact.
Yeah, they were 3 wide there, but they got it straightened out. I think Holt took the brunt of that. I just don't know that they gave each other enough room going into 1, as now somebody else is in the wall going into 3. I can't tell who that is. Let me find him. Looks like Bobby Anderson. And now there's a big wreck in turn 3, Pete. Big wreck. Big wreck in 3. That's a caution here on lap 14.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate. Let's see if we can't catch up. I know John Honeycutt was in part of the first one, and Sam Wade was in part of the second. So let's see if we can catch up with Sam Wade and replay from him.
Yeah, Quimby's got a lot of damage. The 51's got a lot of damage. Unfortunately, the 54, the 48 got a piece of it. Also, the 14 got tagged. Zach Meredith did a great job to slide by. So did Nick Pressey. So did Brad Rivers. So, Byron Jones got collected. Josh Arnold got collected, but not much damage. Same thing with Gimbal was in it, but not much damage. And I think everyone else safely managed to make their way through it. But yeah, it started with Matthew Hill and Quimby. They were 3 wide there, made contact going into 3. If you can find that, Pete.
Yep, I'm trying right now. There's bring it back up to Mr. York. Looks like the 50 was having a little bit of a blinking issue. All right, let's see. All right.
And
some reason
Michael York stayed on track here to lead a lap, so he's our leader right now, but I would imagine he's going to come down pit road, or maybe he's just going to try and hang on to an extra set of tires, Pete. But Ellison's first off pit road, followed by Latham, followed by Ballesteros, James Kerr, Aaron Smith, Tristan Bailey, Louis Zader, Brad Herman, Grant Davis, Nathan Moss, Zach Meredith, who once again did a great job to get through that, along with Pressy. And then it's going to be Brad Rivers behind them.
Okay, so that what I just pulled up for Josh Arnold was kind of late here. Back with Sam Wade, and we're actually going to stop that, and we're going to play this back. All right, let's stop it. We're going to grab a rear chase cam. Oh, no, wrong one. Chase cam. Chase cam. There we go. And let's play it from here. So this is the Bengals car on the very, very bottom underneath the 48, hard of the outside wall. And the 48 just got collected. That sent the 14 around. And yeah.
Yeah, good job by Zach Meredith once again, and Nick Pressy just getting to the bottom. They were the first two through that wreck who were behind it. But it also looks like Jeff Noe got some damage, in that wreck as well. That probably happened further in the back of the field. Didn't catch that, but yeah, there's some guys pretty heavily damaged here, and then there's some with just a little bit of damage. Like I said, I think Jaden Gimbel was involved, but not too bad. Same thing with Josh Arnold. I think those guys are going to be able to get themselves repaired just fine. A little bit of damage for Jeff Lednam as well, but I think he's going to be okay. No fast repairs in this league, Pete, so they're just going to get him fixed up the best they can and get him back out there.
Well, Banner, you said right about 20 laps is where we might have seen our first caution. They made it to lap 15 before the first yellow flew. 15 of 80. So not too bad. It did collect a few cars, so you're going to have some people in the back running around with some damage. And as fast as the guys up front were running, once they got single file, it's not going to be long before those guys that are really ailing are going to start to fall laps down.
Yeah, and right now we'll kind of run through our top 10 again as they get double filed here, getting ready to go green this next time. But it's going to be Gabriel Ellison, Timothy Latham, Drew Ballesteros, Aaron Smith, Tristan Bailey, Louis Zader, Brad Herman is in the 7th spot. And then it's Gabe Davis, so Grant Davis, he's made a nice little move here into the top 10, as well as Nathan Mon from where they started. Zach Meredith is there as well. Then you got Nick Pressy. Brad Rivers, hey, he's up to 12th, Pete, from that 26th starting position, so he's coming through. I think that confidence is serving him well from that heat race. Matt Boone in 13th, Nate Lehman 14th, and Kyle Taub. That's going to round out your top 15 with Josh Franks alongside him as well.
Yep, here we go. So it looks like the lights on the pace car were off. 27 as before. He was on the pole for the start. He's going to be on. He's going to be your control car. Few guys getting squiggly. Getting back on the throttle. It's going to be the 0 of Timothy Latham to that outside in that Raise Energy Camaro. And P number 3 is going to be Aaron Smith now on the high side. 54 down low. I think, Boehner, that 54 might have got trapped down there. He's going to be able to find a spot, though, right behind the 70.
Yep, Ellison with another good jump run in the middle line there. You can see Aaron Smith going to the bottom, Zader going to the bottom in P5. These guys got a chance to see what these cars are going to feel like in 15 laps. So, if we get a little longer run, Pete, I think you're going to see some of these guys running the bottom come forward here the second half of these runs as Smith continues to just hug that white line.
Now, Banner, when these cars are as loose as they are, is this why we're seeing everybody on that high line just waiting for their car, waiting for their tires to come in? Or is it just really waiting for the complete looseness to go away and just at least get that little bit of a neutral feeling under you before you try to get that pedal down a little bit sooner?
Yeah, it's just the first couple laps are treacherous, and it's a little easier on the outside. You don't have as much wheel put into it. But quite frankly, the outside is just faster. Our fastest qualifiers are running the top in 1 and 2, on their qualifying lap. So it is faster up there, especially on new tires. But once again, running the bottom, keeping it along that white, not gassing it up, earlier than you need to is definitely going to help save those right side tires.
Now checking back in with the 7 of Expert Racing, he's actually up 14 spots. One of the biggest movers is going to be Matt Boone, up 17. But the 7 of Josh Frank's Expert Racing, he was your pole sitter for that heat race. He led quite a few laps, ended up finishing P3. Right now running in the top half of the mid-pack. And right now not doing too bad. He's got the 16 of Kyle Taub behind him, as well as Patrick Gaspar and Giovanni Klein. And right in front of him, he's got Brad Rivers, Matt Boone, and Nicholas Pressey.
Yeah, great run, a great start for some of those guys. Like I said, Boone's come up through, Rivers has come up through, Franks has come up through. I'm probably missing a couple of guys, but side by side for third also, Pete, it looks like Ballesteros is trying to get to the inside of Aaron Smith. Like I said, I kind of like what I see out of Smith. I feel like he's doing a great job running, good speeds, but also doing his best to conserve the tires. As a little further back in the field, you have Meredith and Herman side by side fighting for that 9th position.
Yeah, fighting for the 9th position. Meredith has that low line. Got to make sure you don't wash up into the left front of that 85 TJ's team. Big shout out to More Than a Cape out there. Always great to see him. J-Pod, I definitely see you. Very, very unfortunate, buddy. I'm sure Bana will talk to you after the race. But man, it can't be like that every week. As the line goes in the movie Crow, it can't rain all the time. Saw a Crow car out here somewhere, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so, Pete. I think that was Bobby Anderson, who was also, I know he got some wall damage. I don't think he was in that wreck. I think he tagged the wall kind of ahead of that. So hopefully he got that fixed and is able to get it recovered. Yeah, that's too bad about J-Paw. I thought his car was going to be okay. So maybe something happened after the fact. I'm not really sure. So we'll have to take a look at that later. But right now, top 5, you still have Ellison leading the way, Latham, Aaron Smith, Drew Ballesteros, and Luis Zader. Grant Davis has kind of quietly made his way up to 6. I know we've called his name a couple times, but I think he came from 15th or so from qualifying. So he's having a good early run here.
Yeah, Raleigh Grant Davis up 7 spots from where he qualified. So right now sitting in P6, so qualified P13. He's showing that you can qualify in an unlucky number, but if you got the drive and you got the skill and you got the car and the equipment to work your way through the field, you can do it. He's closing up on Luis Zader and Drew Ballesteros, as you said, as they run side by side. Zader down low, 54 in the middle, 25 is going to try to take it high.
Yeah, but now that failed attempt to make a pass might cost Zader the 5th spot here as Grant Davis gets to his outside. I think Zader's he's got a hole here. He's going to tuck back in behind these guys and just kind of run there in the 6th spot.
Yeah, Zader, I think he tried to dive it into the corner a little bit, maybe try to get that 25 to look in his rear view just a little bit more, but it wasn't going to happen. 25 was able to power on by, and it looks like he's going to try to do the same thing here. Get up to the outside of the 54 by the end of the corner, or at least have the run off. No such luck that time. He's just going to stay tucked in line as it is from first all the way back through about 10th or 12th.
Yep, and I believe they're probably about, 10 laps into this run, so we'll probably start to see the fall off come into play again here, Pete, in another 5 laps or so. But Ellison's running a really smart pace here. Latham's just content to ride. Same thing with Aaron Smith, and Ballesteros kind of held off that charge from Zader, and Grant Davis was able to take advantage of that, moving to 5th. But now you have really the top 9 cars here, all the way back to Zach Meredith, all very close together. And then Herman's not too far back in 10th as well. Yeah,
the 17 looks like Red Bull Machine. Yeah, Red Bull for Zach Meredith. Old Bills fan, Boehner, he's got to be. Maybe he can try to grab the W like the Bills did this weekend. I think they actually broke a record. 7 straight. What's it called?
Drives with the TD.
Yeah, I mean, every possession. That's the word I was thinking. Every single possession they had, they ran it. They either ran it in or caught it in the end zone. First time they ever did it. They kept on showing the graphic. First time a team did it 3 times in a row. 4 times in a row. They stopped counting after 4, and the Bills went on to take it 7 times. 5 by pass, 2 by run. So, man, if they continue to go through the rest of the season to the Super Bowl with that kind of strength and that kind of momentum, man, the NFL is on notice.
Yeah, I don't know if you just caught that, Pete, but Ballesteros was fighting to try and get third away from Aaron Smith. He got big time loose off of turn 2. Davis, Zader, and Bailey all got by him, and now Nathan Mons to his outside as well. Great save, but definitely cost him some track position.
Yeah, saw he ended up way below the white line. Looks like 20 is going to try to give him just a little bit more room. Maybe he didn't want to pinch that 20 down in case he got loose again. 20, I think he's being very, very careful getting back in the throttle. He's just going to find that hole behind the 20, fall in line, and just let these tires eat for a little while instead of, trying to dig on the bottom and just heating them up. Combat Beast, what's happening, man? How are you?
Yeah, so Ellison and Latham starting to break away just a little bit here from Aaron Smith as Gabriel Davis and Louis Zader are both fighting side by side as well with Tristan Bailey right behind them. So yeah, you got Zader, and it looks like Zader's going to get that position back from, I keep calling him Craig, but it's Grant Davis.
Yep.
Apology for that. But Zader's going to go by him, and now Zader's also looking for third from Aaron Smith here with Tristan Bailey right behind him, going to try to follow him through.
Yeah, Tristan, very, very strong in that TJ's team entry. And I believe you're 100% right. That high side momentum is going to carry. Raleigh Grant Davis, he's going to jump on in the tire tracks of that 88 as well. All three of them going to be able to clear that 70, I believe, by the time they come off of 3 and 4 at the other side of the track.
Yep, and now the question is, will Nathan Mon also on the outside there be able to get to the outside of Aaron Smith? He's kind of stuck on the bottom right now, Pete, and it looks like Mon's also going to go ahead and clear him. And then Ballesteros still staying in touch with these guys after that great save off of 2 he had a couple laps ago.
Yeah, he's got to be extremely happy that when he got loose, he was able to check up just enough, not lose too much speed. And when he brought it back up on track, his tires weren't so heated that he actually still had traction. So great job by him. It'll be interesting to see just how much he can recover before they start for their green flag pit stop. 35 laps in out of 80 laps here at Atlanta.
Yes, sir. And now Jeff Noe and unfortunately the 48 car also of Corey Blevins, they're going to go a lap down. They got some big time damage in that first wreck as the leaders start to negotiate it. But Zader's really starting to close in on these leaders, Pete. We saw him drop back to 6th. Now he's moved back to 3rd. He's got Tristan Bailey closely in tow with Grant Davis and Nathan Mon. It'll be interesting to see if these guys close in on Latham and Ellison and can't kind of battle for the lead as they're 3 wide between the lap cars there. Good job by the lap cars getting plenty of room.
Yeah, Jeff No staying as high as he possibly could. Meanwhile, that 48 is completely missing that front end. He's going to lose all kinds of time. Looks like the front end on Stout Whiskey, or Jeff No's car, has quite a bit of damage as well. I could just imagine that the 6 and the 48 were kind of hoping that maybe we'd have a little bit of a caution kind of thing, and they'd be able to spend a little bit of time on pit road to get some of that damage repaired. But so far, that's not been the case. Caution, we only had 1 caution for 3 laps here as we're about working lap 38 right now.
Yep, we're getting pretty close to halfway here, Pete. 80 lap race, on lap 38 now. Still Ellison in control. He's been in control this whole race from the pole, but he definitely has some challengers behind him, as I know Bailey and Zader are running some good lap times right behind him.
I'm getting, as long as this has been going on between the heat and then talking to the drivers in during that warm-up session, I'm getting kind of parched. I wonder if anybody out there in chat might need a little bit of a drink. Boehner, do we have a case of water we can give away?
Yeah, we sure do, Pete. For this week's contest, we're going to go ahead and just give it to whoever can pick who's going to finish 3rd in this race. We'll give you a case of BeWater. So get those answers in. Only 1 driver, can be selected. So once they're selected, they're off the board. But whoever can correctly guess who finishes 3rd tonight, Pete, they're going to get you a case of BeWater this week.
There you go. So out there in chat, if you can correctly choose which driver finishes in P number 3, if somebody should happen to pick them later. Maybe they're late into chat or something like that. Hey, it is what it is. So I think, Boehner, what we should say is probably the first person to pick the correct driver in P number 3. We'll go with them. Sound good?
Yep, perfect.
All right, so right now, Papa Bear, he's the first one out there, and he says, old Matt Boone, driver number 38. Let's actually see if we can find Matt Boone up 19 spots right now in P number 10.
That sounds like a pretty good guess to me, Pete, based on the rate he's been coming through the field. As we have a great battle for second right now. Bailey got to the inside of Zader. Zader was trying to work Latham. Now Bailey lost his momentum off 2. Zader's going to go to the inside of Latham, see if he can complete the pass down here in 3 and 4.
Yep, Zero Machine up high. Zader, there we go, down low, looking at the 88 right behind him, side by side. Couple of red and white and blue car behind, going into turns 1 and 2, still side by side. Great sports between them. A little bit of room. Zader's going to be able to slide on up. Zero's going to try the crossover at the right rear. Almost lost it there, and now the 42's got the preferred line up high.
Yep, Zader's still been coming. Bailey's been coming with him. Bailey's now looking to the inside of Latham. Going to see if he can't carry this momentum off, and Latham leaves him room, so he might be able to get there as they go into turn 1.
Yeah, Bailey's at his right rear right now, so he's going to have the line up high. Just got to stay in the throttle, squeezing that 88 higher and higher, but the 88 able to hold on to it. That is a sign of a very, very matured iRacer. Bailey was one of the first people to jump over to iRacing right after leaving console, and he runs everything from dirt to the old 87s, trucks, Xfinity, Cup, late model. He will race in anything you want him to race in. Bailey is an absolute all-around racer.
Yeah, absolutely. Great driver. Right now, Ellison, that last lap, he hit a 33-34. Behind him, Zader hit a 33-24. So they are moving in a little bit on Gabriel Ellison here. Bailey hit an 18 that lap. Latham's starting to fall a little bit. He hit a 57, as now Grant Davis is looking to make a run on him. Nathan Mon also, he's been very consistently following kind of Zader and Bailey up through this field. He's up in the P6 having a good run, and then there's a little bit of gap back to Aaron Smith, who's running in 7th, and he has it looks like Herman Ballesteros and then Matt Boone not too far behind him as well. So that's your top 10, Pete.
Yep, starting to see a couple of guys go down and come off of pit road. So far, Patrick Gaspar and Bobby Anderson have gone down, grabbed 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods and filled it up. Looks like Matt Heel is the next one to follow. So we could see the start of green flag pit stops underway. And I tell you what, it's probably good to come on down a few laps early before the masses have to go ahead and join them. And just as I say that, it looks like... Nope. Okay, that's just those guys exiting pit road. So yeah, we'll have to see if we start to see the leaders and more come down in the coming laps.
It's certainly risky coming in a little early, Pete, but I think they can go the distance from here. So the idea would be come down, get your tires now, make as many fast laps as you can. As Zader almost got in the wall off 4, and now Bailey's looking to his inside as we got a battle for second, Pete.
Yep, Bailey down low, Louis Zader up high. I'm going to guess Zader's probably feeling a little tight. He's had to duel it up a little bit with the 0 and the 88 a few times. And I'm sure a time or two, he's had to put that foot down in order to get that momentum off the high side. So he might be feeling this long run pressure. Bailey just about at that right rear, maybe trying a little bit of side draft, but Zader's going to be able to carry. Bailey's going to fall in right behind him as we're going to start to work lap number 48. So past halfway, we're all racing to 80.
That's right, Pete. So you could see Zader, he was able to, even though he lost his momentum and Bailey got next to him, he was able to carry that high side and get clear of him over in 1 and 2 the next time through. So these guys still look to me to be gaining on Ellison just ever so much. I hear a lot of guys talking about coming to pit road, so hopefully everyone can get on and off pit road good, Pete, and we'll kind of see where they stack up after these round of green flag pit stops.
Yeah, Jim Coey's gone down pit road, so is Nicholas Pressey, David Hauk, Justin Quimby, Brad Rivers, everybody starting to go on down. And man, they're going to feel like Superman when they get out.
Yeah, for sure. And at the same time, I think Nathan Mon, he's just moved into the 5th spot as well. So he's up there. And now we got our leader coming down pit road, Pete. Here comes Gabriel Ellison.
Yep, that's going to leave that's going to give the lead over now to the 42 of Louis Zader. Tristan Bailey right in tow. Timothy Latham, P3. Nathan Mon, you were just talking about him. He has been very, very consistently working his way into the top 10. Then it was the top 5. And now he sits in P4 with the 25 of Raleigh Grant Davis sitting in P number 5.
Yep, and I think we're going to see some more leaders come down pit road as here comes Louis Zader, Timothy Latham, Nathan Mon, Brad Herman. These guys all running in the top 6. They're going to hit pit road. Matt Boone's going to hit pit road behind them. So a lot of guys coming down pit road here, Pete, as Tristan Bailey is he's kind of out there by himself. He's going to be the last guy in the top 10 to pit at this point before this cycle started.
Yeah, and right now he's got about a second and a half lead over the 25 of Davis. Then Kyle Taub's going to be up behind him, Drew Jua, and you can imagine that Bailey's probably going to go ahead and try to whoa it up, slow it up, and not slide. Whoa! Lock it down. There you go. Way to lock it down, but keep it straight and not just turn to the left to jam it on into the inside wall. There you see the 21 of Corey Kobe right in front of him as they come to the attention of their pits. Now picking up with the 16 of Kyle Taub. He's yet to pit.
Yep, he's in too. So was Grant Davis this time. So I think a lot of the guys who were planning on, I think that completes everyone who was in our top 10 before this cycle started, Pete. I'm trying to figure out who our leader is at the moment. I believe it's Kyle Taub if he didn't come down pit road.
Yep, exactly. Kyle Taub, Tyler Dohar, Jose Ruiz.
Now he's on pit road now. So here comes Taub, and he came in way too quick. Oh, and he wrecked on pit road. That's a bummer. He's still going. Might give him a speeding penalty. Definitely got some front end damage, so that's a bummer for Kyle Taub there.
Now, king of the long runs, king of saving fuel, Tyler Dohar in this number 77 filter time Camaro. Surprised that he's going to be one of the last to come down pit road?
No, not at all. But I think he's got to come this time. I just heard him over the radio. I think they're ran it as far as they possibly can. So I think him and anyone else who hasn't pit, they're going to have to come down here really quick.
Yep, Tyler Dohar, there he goes. And that's going to revert the lead back to Gabriel Ellison, and he's going to have a 2.5 second lead over Aaron Smith. Timothy Latham is going to go back to P3. Tristan Bailey, P4. Nathan Mon, P5 when it's full cycle.
Yep, Pete. And so, Ellison came in a few laps before Bailey. And then I think Latham came in maybe the lap, after Aaron Smith did. So, Smith, he's on a little bit older tires. He's in second. I'm trying to find Ellison he's got a really nice lead here, Pete. I think he said 2.2 seconds. So we'll have to keep an eye on, Tristan Bailey was the last guy to pit out of these guys in the top 10 currently, and he's running in 4th, 4.7 seconds back. So we'll see if, I think Bailey's going to be the one to watch here in these closing laps with the freshest tires of these guys in contention.
Yeah, Tristan Bailey just got by the ailing number 48 machine, and he's, as you said, he's got the 20 of Nathan Mon to his backside. There's Timothy Latham up here in that Zero Raise Energy machine, and then of course again that bright yellow number 70 sponsorless car for Aaron Smith. Aaron Smith.
Yep. So Ellison, we'll see this time by. He was 2.3 before. He's still 2.3. So Aaron Smith just knocked off a couple hundredths. Nothing big there. But Bailey, he chopped into it about 0.4 of a second. He went from 4.7 to 4.3 behind. So Bailey's definitely going to be coming.
There you go. For everybody out there in chat, again, there is a case of BeWater up for grabs. It's completely on us. You pay absolutely nothing. All you need to do is to be the first person to correctly choose who comes, or correctly pick, I should say, who will finish in P number 3. So far, Matt Boone, driver number 38, He has been chosen. He's off the table, but the rest of the field is up for grabs. Is it going to be Gabriel Ellison? Is it going to be Aaron Smith, Timothy Latham, Tristan Bailey, Nathan Mon, Raleigh Grant Davis, Drew Ballesteros, or Brad Herman? That's the top 8 in front of Matt Boone. And then Stan Carnathan right now, Boehner, having a great race in P number 10.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually have him shown as, I think, P12 at the moment, Pete. But yeah, he's having an excellent run. I mean, just to go through our top 10 again really quick. Ellison, Smith, Latham, Bailey, Mon, Davis, Ballesteros, Herman, Boone, and then Drew Jua is up into the 10th position right now, followed with Pressey, Carnathan, Banner, Hauk, and Meredith. That's your top 15. York's in 16th. Giovanni Klein, good old Cheese, he's in 16th. Kobe 17th. Honeycutt trying to make his way back through after some of that damage. He had had a nice rebound back to 19th with Lednam rounding out the top 20.
All right, I'm going to check something here right quick. All right, I just want to make sure that because we were seeing different information. I'm guessing maybe it was just scoring as to where they were. But I'm seeing 22 laps to go now. Gabriel Ellison is still in the lead, and it looks like Kevin is saying Latham for third. Hey,
yeah,
why not pick the guy that's in third right now?
There you go. I like it. Good strategy, you know.
Right.
Definitely, Zader had an issue on pit road. He went a lap down. Just want to update a few things. So tough break for him as he was running in the top 5. Probably got dinged for speeding on pit road. Enrique went a lap down. Rivers had issues on pit road. He's at the tail end of the lead lap in 29th. But right now we got 29 cars on the lead lap, Pete.
Yeah, 29 cars. That's not bad. I mean, that's what 14 cars that still aren't on the lead lap from the start. 60 laps in. You had a couple that did have some damage. We've only had one caution tonight. This is the first true test of a 1.5 mile track. Not doing too bad at all.
No, not too bad at all. But as I watch Ellison right now, we know Rivers is fast, and so is Quinones. Those guys are really kind of giving him a hard time as he's trying to get around him, which, rightfully so. They're trying to stay on the lead lap here with, still, about 18 to go. But Ellison's really going to have to be careful navigating this, not getting too frustrated. The bummer is he is on about 3-lap older tires than Bailey, who's now cut the lead down to 2.3, Pete. So he's almost halfway into that gap. But the question is Bailey, burning up his stuff trying to get there, as he's now caught Aaron Smith, and they're going to start battling here. It looks like Latham is actually in second now by Smith, and Bailey's looking to the outside. Smith was one of the first to come to pit road, so no surprise here. He doesn't really put up too much of a fight. Both Latham and Bailey have now moved into second and third.
And I think I've got a problem, Houston. Hold on. Yep. Hold on. I will be right back.
I can always do radio style.
Be my guest, sir. Go for it.
Cool. So we're going to go radio style here. It's Latham. Ellison is actually to the inside of Rivers. He's going to try to clear him off of 4. Rivers still fighting him very hard. And now Quinones and Rivers are side by side fighting for the lucky dog spot, as they both are going to come up on someone else here that just went a lap down. That's Byron Jones. So now Quinones, Ellison has finally cleared all 3 of those cars, and Quinones is in the lucky dog spot in hot pursuit with Rivers. Now in second, we have Timothy Latham, who's still got Tristan Bailey right on his tail. They are both running down Ellison, but with 16 laps to go, I'm not sure how much time they're going to have. Also, another car running them down is Nathan Mon. He's running in P5 right now. He's catching Aaron Smith for sure. Whether he can do anything to catch Latham and Bailey before they get to Ellison, that's another story. As Bailey's all over the back of Latham, he's actually looking to the outside in 1 and 2. I think Latham's going to keep it down here as they come off of turn 2 really tight. Latham's going to give him the space, so as Bailey's now going to get a run going into turn 3. Latham charges it in there, tries to slide up, but Bailey, he's going to keep it there on the corner panel as he comes through 3 and 4. Now he moves in on the lap car of Byron Jones. He clears Latham off 4. He's now got Ellison in his sights as Byron Jones does a nice thing, gets out of the way of the leaders here. But it's still Gabriel Ellison right now. He's got a 1.3 second lead over Tristan Bailey, who's cut that down from 4.7. Ellison still having some issues with some of the lap traffic as some of them are battling really hard. Quinones, who was able to get by him, it looks like Ellison has kind of picked up the pace, and now he's trying to get back around Quinones to put him a lap down. Rivers has fallen back a little bit, but as I said before, it's right now Tristan Bailey who's on the charge here with 13 laps to go. He's definitely catching them. Only one car between him and Ellison right now. That's the Batman car of Brad Rivers. As you have Latham, who hasn't lost too much touch of Bailey. He's only 4 tenths back of him. Aaron Smith is starting to come back into the picture, even with the little older tires. We might have a 4 or 5 car fight for the finish here as we're coming down to 12 to go.
Everybody out there in chat, give it a big congrats. Man, well done, Boehner. Hell yeah, buddy. Yeah, we are absolutely back, man. Go and grab yourself a big old swig of some BeWater. Buddy, I will take it for a little bit. You've got to be parched. Yeah, we definitely see the 27 of Gabriel Ellison. He's got a lead. He's got, just under a second lead back to Tristan Bailey in that number 88. He's trying to hold off a hard charge from the 0 of Timothy Latham. Latham trying to grab the draft of the lap car up front. That's going to be the 69. And Aaron Smith and Nathan Ma just a little bit further behind. But what a battle it is. Boehner, that was some fantastic work, man. Good job.
Not a problem, man. Just calling it as I see it. Bailey's definitely catching him. Like I said, Pete, the question is going to be, did Bailey really burn up the tires? You know, he had a little bit of a tire advantage, so it would make sense that he would at least reel him down a little bit. But he was catching him quick. And although Ellison was dealing with some lap cars, I don't know that he was not just being careful getting by him and making sure he has some stuff here for this final 10 laps here. Bailey is definitely going to get there. You know, it's down to 7 tenths of a second. This time by down to 6 tenths of a second. So it's no longer a matter of tenths or, 3, 4, 5 tenths that he was catching him. He only caught him 1 tenth that lap. Ellison's running the top as well as Bailey. Latham's in a solid third with Aaron Smith in fourth. I don't think Latham and Smith are going to have time to get there, but if those guys get to racing, you never know.
Man, I tell you what, I have seen Bailey do some amazing things, set records over on the console side in NNR. I mean, getting like 20 wins in a season. Coming over here, I've seen him win in everything from the 87s and everything that we talked about earlier. As you said, he is absolutely getting closer and closer. It's just going to be a matter of time. Now, just a mere half second behind the 27 of Gabe Ellison. He can see him. He can smell him. Cue the Jaws music.
Yeah, that Jaws music started, I think, about 15 laps ago, but they're starting to equalize out a little bit, Pete. Like I said, Ellison was being really careful there with some of those lap cars. I think he's in good shape with the clean air as I'm kind of looking at the lap times now, but Bailey's still, he's creeping in, but catching him is one thing and passing him is another, as if I can't say anything more cliche, but I did it anyways. So it's definitely going to come into play here as we're, Pete, we got 7 to go this time?
We will be coming across, let me make sure I'm live here. We'll be coming across 8 to go. 8 to go. The 81 of Jaden Gimbel kept the car low, made sure that both the leader and Tristan Bailey here in P number 2 had plenty of room. Looks like they are leaving about a second now, better than a second, back to P3, Timothy Latham. So right now, Kevin out there in chat, he picked P3 when Latham was in P3, and guess what? He is still there. Right now, Aaron Smith just a mere half second behind him. So nobody out there in chat has Smith. Hey, that might be a good challenge for a case of BeWater, though.
Yeah, a couple quick shout-outs, too. Matt Boone, he's raced his way from the heat race all the way up into the top 10 and 8th position. Drew Jua, he's running 9th now. Drew Ballesteros in 10th. We haven't mentioned JB Banner, but he's having a great race. He's in P11 with Meredith. Michael York also having a fantastic race up to 13th with Pressy and Kobe. They're going to round out your top 15. And Jose Ruiz is starting to move in a little bit as he's up to 16th now.
Yeah, Mike York, as you said, in P13, and another one of those stay Camaros. I think that's actually one of the ones that I watched you and young Byron Jones. I got to tell you, guys and gals, he does amazing work. If you're looking for any kind of livery for any kind of car, man, please reach out. I'll get you in touch with him. Well worth it. And man, he's actually going to school for that. Boehner, not sure if you knew that as we come to 6 to go.
Yeah, Pete, I don't know if it's 6 to go. We're actually coming to, I got lap 76 here. So I think we got 5 to go, Pete, at the line. And Bailey is there. He's within a car length as they go down into 1 and 2.
Yeah, the reason I said 6 to go because I was still back there with York and he hadn't reached the line. But yeah, you're 100% right. 5 laps to go, and it's on. Bailey is all over the back bumper of this number 27. There is no when he'll catch him. He is there, Boehner.
Yeah, and I think Bailey's learned he's had to pass quite a few cars in this top 10. You know, he doesn't want to do it on the inside. I don't think he's confident he can clear him. But Ellison is kind of leaving him no choice as they come off of 4 to go, Pete, and Bailey's there. He's on the inside as they race down into turn 1.
Oh, looks like Bailey threw it in deep. He's going to try a slider. Can a 27 stay in the throttle? Can the 88 keep it out of the wall? He is wheeling that thing. 27's going to he got loose, but able to maintain. Didn't wreck it. New leader, Tristan Bailey.
He's there, Pete, and that was such a good job by him. He really did a great job of, you know, driving it in there hard, but he kept the tires underneath him. He didn't get sideways off the corner, and he was able to clear him. And I think he's going to be good to go here as long as he doesn't hit any lap traffic, Pete. But Ellison he's not just going to give it to him. He's still running that top, trying to get a run on him.
Yeah, I'll check back in with the 0 of Latham and the 70 of Aaron Smith. It looks like the 0, he's got plenty of room. Back up to P number 2, and it definitely looks like the 88's gained about just a little under a half second, about 3/10 already in the last lap. They're going to be coming to 2 to go, Boehner.
2 to go. He's got 2 lap cars. Franks has some damage on his rear end. Not sure when that happened. I'd imagine somewhere in the pit road exchange. Enrique Quinones, who actually drove himself back on the lead lap, fighting with Franks for that position. Bailey got a good run off the corner, and you can see these guys just got out of the way. So at this point, I think Enrique is going to let him go since they are going to be coming to the white flag. But Ellison's still right there. Bailey can't afford to get sideways or get loose or have any issues with Quinones.
No, not at all. Enrique keeping it down, giving that 88 the high line, and the white flag is out. Bader, take us all the way.
Yep, he's going to go down into 1 and 2, still running that same line that he's been running here that got him to catch the leader. He's going to have a good clean exit off 2. Ellison still within about 3 car lengths, but he's not making any gains down the backstretch. As they go into 3, this is the 88s to lose at this point, Pete.
Yeah, 88's to lose, 27, no fight whatsoever. Tristan Bailey clean and smooth as always. He's going to come across to win race number 2 here in the BeWater BeFast iRacing series from Hotlanta. Congratulations, Tristan Bailey.
Yeah, great charge by Tristan there. You know, he was the last guy to come to pit road in the top 10. He got on and off pit road really well. Allowed him to really have that little bit of tire advantage, you know, down the stretch. And he was able to make one good, clean move, Pete. The first run he got, he was able to utilize that to carry himself into 1 and 2, get clear, and get gone. So congratulations to Bailey. As we'll go through the rest of our top 10, it looks like Gabriel Ellison, he's going to bring it home P2 after leading the most laps. Timothy Latham's going to come home P3. Aaron Smith P4. Great race for Nathan Mon, Grant Davis. Those guys started outside the top 10, found themselves in 5th and 6th. Brad Herman with the smooth race finishes P7. Matthew Boone coming from the heat race. He's going to win that $10 for being the highest finisher coming from the heat race. So congratulations to him finishing P8. Drew Jua P9, Ballesteros P10. Feel free to take us to 20th, Pete.
Absolutely. It looks like after Ballesteros, it's going to be Drew Jua, JB Banner, Jose Ruiz, Zachary Meredith, Mike York, Nicholas Pressey, Corey Kobe, Nathan Lehman, Tyler Dohar, Stan Carnathan, and John Honeycutt, one of the last people that we were able to talk to before we kicked off this 80-lap race.
Yeah, great race by Tyler Dohar. He actually had to come from the rear, so with one caution to come from 43rd to 18th, I'm sure that was probably our biggest mover of the race. And then after Honeycutt, we had Giovanni Klein, who unfortunately lagged out of the Daytona race, so good to see him finish on the lead lap, get 21st. David Houck, who also started shotgun on the field, 22nd. Congratulations to him. He certainly kept it clean in order to get to there. Jeff Ledham on the lead lap, 23rd. Blake Sperling in 24th on the lead lap. And then from there, it was Enrique Quinones, Josh Franks, Brad Rivers, Jane Gimbel, Byron Jones, and Louis Zader. After the unfortunes on pit road, he's going to finish P30.
And I tell you what, the 88 of Tristan Bailey, he literally burned it down as you just watched the 85 do the same thing. Smoke started to erupt. You heard the engines pop, ladies and gents. So congratulations to Kevin out there in chat. He correctly chose Timothy Latham. Please, by all means, send us a tweet or send us a message on Discord, however you want to do it, or you could just send me a whisper right here on my Twitch channel, and we'll get your information and we'll get a case of BeWater out to you ASAP. Well, Boehner, what do you think we step on back, unlock that door to the booth, get our top 3 in, and see what our finishers have to say? We'll be right back, guys. All right, guys and gals, we are back, and we've got our top 3. Boehner, P3, old Mr. Latham. Somebody out there in chat picked him. He's going to go ahead and grab a case of BeWater. But old Mr. Latham, he's got 3rd place points. What's he got to say?
Yeah, hey, Tim. How you doing, man?
Doing good. How about you guys?
I'm doing very well. Hey, I think you qualified like P9, P10, something like that. But it looked like you had a good, clean race there. Came on the pit road, you know, somewhere between Ellison and Tristan there. But yeah, tell us about your race. Tell us what was working for you, and if there's anything you could have done different to maybe get that checker flag.
Yeah, you know, we had a really good start of the race. Like you said, we started 9th. It was kind of slow in qualifying. I didn't want to mess up and hit the wall or anything, but I was kind of glad to make the feature and not have to run through the heat. But we got up to 2nd there before that caution came out, and me and Gabe were kind of working together a little bit on that restart to try to get a jump on the field there. But that second half, man, it was so racy. You had Tristan coming up through the field. I was up there with Aaron Smith, and you know, those guys were quick all night. And congrats to Tristan on the win. But I was hoping me and Gabe could finish 1-2. But you know, Tristan drove his butt off tonight, and he deserved it for sure.
Yeah, right on, man. Yeah, it looked like a good, smooth race for you. Like you said, you got up to 2nd there. It looked like you and Ellison had a little bit of gap. I know Zader, he had issues on pit road. But there were definitely some comers and goers, but I think you guys who were mostly in the top 10, top 5 all night kind of showed that you had what it took to get around Atlanta quick while taking care of your stuff. Anyone you want to thank?
Of course, you guys put on a good broadcast, so thank you guys for putting on a show, and thank BeWater for putting this all together, and thank Raise Energy, Rep Sports, G-Pop, everybody over there for having the faith in me, letting me, run their stuff on my car, give them some airtime every week. And thanks to all the guys that kept it clean tonight, and even the lap cars, they did a good job staying out of the way. So everybody did a good job tonight.
Absolutely, man. Good points night as well. We'll see where that puts you in the standings after some of the heartbreak at Daytona. But, great run, man. Congratulations on your first podium here, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again at some point down the road.
All right. Appreciate it, guys.
Pete, go ahead and talk to our runner-up finisher here, who really controlled the race for the majority of the time.
Absolutely. Gabe Ellison, driver number 27, Chevy. I tell you what, Gabe, unless something didn't load correctly in my trading paints, you had no sponsorship on that Camaro whatsoever after the very dominant and late race leading performance you put on tonight. I have no doubt somebody somewhere may go ahead and pick you up. Who knows? I did see MTC Esports out there in chat quite a while. But man, you led the most laps. You kept it clean for just all race long. Was there ever a point where you're coming up on lap cars where you had to split them or whatever? Did you ever think that, man, this isn't going to work out, or were you pretty confident all race long?
Well, I felt pretty good. After I made that last pit stop, I think Tristan came 2 after me.
Yep.
So Tim came 1 after. So I knew that later in the run, there was a good chance I'd get caught. It really was going to be dependent on how I navigated lap traffic, and I did good for the most part. I had a couple problems I got stuck on the bottom for a few laps, and I think I killed my stuff. By the time Tristan got to me, I pretty much had nothing for him. He was tearing through the field the whole race. I mean, even in the early runs I saw. So, huge props to him. He definitely earned the win. I just didn't navigate lap traffic the way I could have hoped to, but it's part of the game, and especially when you get a car on a track like this, the top's pretty dominant, and if you get a lap car on equal tires, sometimes it's hard to get by. So, but that's part of it, and I put myself in that spot. If I just stayed out one more lap, I think I could have probably held that one off. And I'm not sure, but I wish I would have.
Well, as a guy that's been around Tristan Bailey for years now, when there's blood in the water, the sharks come feeding, and he is one of the biggest sharks out there, and he'll agree with me. But man, great race. It's going to be a great points night for you. Any quick shout outs for you or anybody out there in chat that's been rooting you on?
Thanks to you guys for putting this league on, and thanks to BeWater for sponsoring the series. I've liked the first 2 races. I think it's going to be a great series here, and thanks for everybody that makes it happen.
You got it. Boehner, I think you might have a very, very excited Mr. Bailey.
Yeah, right on. Tristan, congratulations, man. Winning here at Atlanta. Great race, man. Walk us through kind of your thoughts as you kind of came up through the field there, how you thought it might shake out in your decision to pit a little later, and let us know if it ever got sketchy. Maybe we missed it, but walk us through that final run and what was kind of going through your head as you were trying to chase down Ellison.
First off, Pete, quit trying to hype me up too much. I'm not that good. Anyway.
Says the guy who won 20 races in a season. Right.
That's on Xbox. This is a totally different thing here.
Oh, just
anyway. Honestly, honestly just scared to hit the wall. You definitely don't want to hit the wall with these cars, because if you get any crinkle, your car slows down significantly, and you actually wear the tires more. And just kind of rode the first 14 to that car came out. I was like, okay, so we'll see what the tires are at. They weren't too bad. I was like, okay, so I was doing pretty good. And then that second run came. The reason why I always stay out longer is I feel like, even though it's like a 2 lap difference between me and Gabe, I feel like that does matter a lot, because I don't know, it's just the way these cars run. I've run them so many times, they just feel different with just even a few laps fresher tires. And then honestly trying to get through lap traffic. Boehner knows about the incident with lap traffic, but I'm not a big fan of them. But I'm just glad to get the win tonight. It was fun racing against Timothy, Gabriel, and all of them. It was a clean race, and just thank you guys.
Yeah, it really was a clean race. You know, we had one kind of incident where they got 3 wide going into 3 and it didn't quite work out. But outside of that, there were no cautions. So, you know, I was jealous of all you guys out on track. That looked like a fun race to try and navigate and go for the win, at least for the top. I mean, really, the top 5 or 6 of you guys were all very, very close on time. It was just a matter of how you all got on and off pit road and when you chose to pit. But, yeah, man, good race. Anyone you want to shout out?
Of course, MTC Sports, of course, with their More Than Kate Foundation, trying to help kids with cancer, make sure their time is better while they sit in the hospital, and just you guys, also Brad and Spurl.
Right on, buddy. Well, congratulations again. Appreciate all you guys joining us in the booth here as we kind of wrap up. Pete, any last thoughts?
Man, 43 cars out on track. One single caution that came early. You guess who's going to be lap 20, happens right around lap 15. And from there on out, all green flag. I'm absolutely looking forward to Las Vegas Motor Speedway next week in the trucks. 80 laps. It's going to be only 4 sets of tires. Fuel's going to be set at 60%. That is going to be one hell of a race, just like this week. A track kind of similar, just not as tire shredding, but also does have that high line advantage. Boehner, this week was a whole lot of fun. Got our second different winner. Moving on to week number 3. I absolutely want to thank everybody that was out there throwing bits out, throwing subscriptions, throwing follows. It means more than you know. So a big, big thank you to everybody out there as well. Boehner, week number 2 was a lot of fun. Looking forward to week number 3. And there was one thing that we both wanted to kind of made sure that we mentioned before this kind of fell by the wayside, and that was our secondary partners over at Martin Sports. They were actually giving away, I believe it's 3 pairs of gloves throughout the season. Guys, go on over to Google, look them up, Martin Sports. I think it's martinsports.com. They've got all kinds of accessories there. Look them up, see what best suits you. And when you get them, tweet us a picture with your new prize. Maybe your hands on the wheel, wrapped in some new equipment. But definitely go out and look them up. And then, of course, our main sponsor, Green Concepts BeWater, and their brand new product, Stay Hemp Infused water, or what is it, Boehner? Hemp infused beverage. There we go.
Yeah, sports hydration beverage. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. We'll get some more information for that moving forward. Like I said, brand new product, Green Concepts just released. Really excited about it. I can't wait. Hopefully it gets here in the next couple of days. I want to check it out so I can give everyone some more feedback. But yeah, a lot of fun, Pete. Appreciate you broadcasting for us, and appreciate all the viewers and everyone who watches later. It's been a blast so far. 2 weeks, I'd say, huge success so far, and really looking forward to Las Vegas next week.
All right, so yeah, Las Vegas next week, right around 8:30, give or take. But don't forget, night after tomorrow, we will be right back with the Filter Time eSpark Xfinity Series, live from Martinsville, the first short track mini, paperclip. And you should have a full field there as well. Boehner will be in competition. I'm sure everybody out there wishes him well, but we'll see you there right about 9 o'clock. Until then, everybody stay safe, stay healthy, take care of each other, and we'll see you around. Later.